Welcome to the weekly feature, Games Too Risky to Bet with Sportsbook Review. I'm Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com, and with Troy West of TroyWins.com, we single out a game that's a little too risky to bet. Now, obviously, this week we have only 2 games to choose from, so we kind of loosened up the format a little bit more. Maybe we'll talk about a side that's too risky to bet, perhaps a total. Maybe it'll be a side or total we think you should either bet now or wait until later in the week because of line moves, or we've got the option of just giving you a pick for one of the 2 conference championship games this weekend. I will get to Troy West in just a moment, but remember, please like, share, comment on these videos, and most importantly, if you have not already subscribed, you definitely want to subscribe because so many great personalities with Sportsbook Review. Well, Troy West of TroyWins.com, what's your opinion on this weekend's games?
Yeah, Joe, I was actually shocked when this line came out last night. Was the Minnesota at Philadelphia game. This line started out right away at -3. It jumped up to 3.5. Looks like it's at even money at 3.5. But right when that line jumped out, I was telling my guys, you got to get on Minnesota -3. Now, maybe it's a square play. I do think in the end it will probably be a public play. But I thought Minnesota last night, even though it took a miracle play at the end of that game, they played outstanding football for 3.5 quarters. And when you play a guy like Drew Brees and the receiving core that Drew Brees has, and you have the 2 running backs with Kamara and Mark Ingram, and you shut them out for the first half, you knew in the second half that the Saints would get their yards. Now, when you go into a game like this in Philadelphia and you go from seeing Drew Brees to Nick Foles, the game is going to slow down dramatically for that Minnesota defense, and I think that's going to play favorably in their hands. Now, will they have a hangover from what just transpired last night? I don't think so. I think that momentum that they've got right now, Mike Zimmer is an outstanding coach. Case Keenum, he's a veteran in this league. He looked outstanding yesterday, minus the 1 bad throw that he had. I think they're able to relax a little bit, recover, and I think they're going to go into Philadelphia. This defense is outstanding. Their offense has got enough weapons with Latavius Murray running the football. Thielen looked outstanding. Diggs looked good. Even Laquan Treadwell got into the mix. And Keenum looked good. I think Minnesota's got the weapons to put up points on this Philly defense. I don't think it'll be a lot of points, but I think it will be much more than what Nick Foles is going to be able to do against this Minnesota defense. So I think Minnesota is a strong play. I've already bet it at -3, and I also bought a half to get it down to 2.5. But I'm very strong on Minnesota in this football game. I hope it's not the square play that it may look like, because I think they're a much better football team. I actually think they're better coached, and I think they're better on both sides of the football. So I'm going to go with Minnesota. Strong play this week for me, Joe.
All right, Troy, well, I'm going to discuss the same game, but actually from a little bit different perspective. I think the total here is too risky to bet for sure. Look, the public, and this is one thing that of the million conversations I've had with fellow handicappers and bettors, if there's one general rule of thumb that we all agree on is that the public tends to overreact from what happened in the previous game. The Vikings, the best defense in the NFL, they sure as heck didn't look like it in the 4th quarter yesterday. They looked terrible. Nick Foles, he actually looked excellent. In fact, perhaps the most surprising statistic come out of the weekend is there is one quarterback in the history of the NFL in his first 2 playoff starts to have a quarterback rating of above 100, and that's Nick Foles. But look, I'm not totally buying it. I don't think Foles is as awesome as he's shown. I certainly think that the Vikings defense is much better than they looked yesterday. You're not going to throw out an entire season based on 1 half of some awful defense, and not that they played all that great during the entire game. Plus, you've got the uncertainty of weather and wind. I looked at the extended forecast. We do record this on Monday, but it looks like weather should not be a factor in Philadelphia if the extended forecast is accurate. They're not even expecting many wind, not that much wind, but 6 days ahead, it's really tough to expect to get an accurate forecast. I just think there's just way too much uncertainty. Is the Eagles' offense as good as they looked last week? Was the Vikings' defense exposed? Nah, I'm not so sure about that. Now, regression to the mean would say maybe bet the under, but this is an incredibly low total for a playoff game. So just a lot of uncertainty there. I say that the Eagles-Vikings total is the one that's too risky to bet. Well, make sure you join Troy West at TroyWins.com and me, Joe Duffy, at OffshoreInsiders.com for our premium picks. And make sure you definitely join us for a Super Bowl edition of Games Too Risky to Bet. Maybe we'll talk about some of the prop plays etc. But you definitely want to subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.